Hello guys, welcome to another video in this course. Now in the previous video I showed you how to check for the type of methods or the HTTP method that is used uh, to make a request to our Express server, and also I also showed you the GET request. In this video we are moving to the post or the HTTP post method or the post request. On our Express. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create an endpoint for a sign up. So we're going to do something like app.post. Now, whenever you want to listen for post requests, so you want to create a route that handles a post request on your Express server, you use the app.post. Now, like I said earlier on during this course, we've been using the app.get a lot, and the app.get listen for a get request, which is actually a request that is used to fetch resources. Now we are dealing with a post request, so we use the app.post. And here we want a route which will be sign in, and just as we have for get request, we also have a payload, a function that has two objects. That's the request and the response objects in our arrow functions. So we have it open up here. So the first thing we want to do is I'm going to copy this also from here and paste it here so that we know a request is made to this URL, and we also want to know the type of request. So we're going to use the trick that I showed you in the previous video to get the type of the request. We all know that this request is definitely going to be a post request, but we also want to fetch that to be certain of that. So yeah, so this will tell us post request made to whatever URL this is. So now I'm not going to do anything much. Also, I'm just going to console.log. Now this time around, whenever we're dealing with a post request, like I explained in some couple videos back in this course. So post request actually allows us to send a payload of data to the server. So and this payload of data is stored in something called the body of the request. So the data that you're sending to the server via a post request is contained in the body of the post request. So yeah, we can do something like consider log requested body. So that will give us access to data that's coming via our post request through the body. Then we can also send a response back to the user, and send a response that let's just say sign in successful. Okay, so the user has signed in successful, and let's not forget to do something rest at end. I explained why in the previous videos, so it's just a way to make sure that we're terminating the request, and the client side is no longer waiting for a response um, of any form or in any form. So now we have everything set up for us, and it's time to make a post request. Now, like I said, like promised a couple of videos back, that I'm going to show you a tool. I'm going to introduce you to a tool that I'll be using to make post request and pretty much every other request apart from the get request. Now, the reason being that um there are um just a handful of ways which or through which we can make post requests and other type of requests. Now, the get request can be easily made from your browser search box or search bar here. But other requests like a post request, the put, the patch, and the delete cannot be made from your browser search box. So um, you either make it from your application using tools like the Fetch API or Axios or XML HTTP requests, or you use other tools like Postman, or the one that I'll be using in this video, which is called Thunder Client. So I'm going to introduce you to Thunder Client. That's what we use to test this new route that we just created on our server. So we don't need to refresh our server. We're using node mode, so it's automatically refreshed for us. So now what we need to do is to test is to test this endpoint, this post request, by making a post request to it. So before we do that, I just want us to be sure. So we're going to come here now and type localhost port 8000 slash sign in. So and we're going to see an error cannot get forward slash sign in. So that means we cannot make a get request to this route because we are not listening for a get request. On this route, we are listening for a post request. So how do you make a post request? That takes us to the tool called Thunder Client. So it's just a VS Code extension. So I don't have to launch an extra app and cause my system to freeze or something. So what we're going to do on your hand is go to the extensions marketplace on VS Code and search for Thunder Client. Okay, so yeah, this is it. So, Thunder Client extension. We have it right here, so you can install it if you haven't. I have it installed already. So if you have it installed, you should see this icon that we have here right on the activity bar on and in VS Code. So you should see it right here. This lightning icon, you should see it right here in your VS Code on the left side. So yeah, you have it on the client. So what we're going to do is open it up. I'm just going to click on it and open it up. So if you've just installed Thunder clients, then you might not find so much project like this going um on your hand. So this place might be blank and you can just see a message telling you to create a new request. So do not worry. All you need to do is click on this button up here. So to create a new request. So we're going to create a new request now to test our endpoint. So it's going to give us a new interface for us to create a new request. So as you can see here, we have it. So the first thing we want to do is type our URL here. Now there's something we've been doing since in our browser. We've been going with localhost and on port 8000 right slash sign up. Oh, sorry, sign in our case. So yeah, this is correct, but we cannot do this in Thunder client. So actually, when we type this in our browser auto completes it, adds our HTTP protocol to the back of it. So it adds something like HTTP, then this it fills it for us automatically. But Thunder client won't do that. So you have to type out everything, but it's not stressful. It's something easy to type and you can easily walk around that. So now as you can see, if you can look if you can see what we have right here, we have get. So that shows that this is actually on a get request. If I should send this, it's still going to give me the same error, cannot get signing. So this Thunder client actually sent you back an HTML template of any error, or if you have a response, it's going to send a response, but if you have an error, it's going to send it as an HTML template. But in our case, this is because we are still making a GET request. Now, I want to change it to a POST request. So all you need to do is click on this little arrow that we have here, and you are going to see other kind of requests that you can make. So we're going to switch now from the GET request to the POST request. Now we have the POST request. So if I click on send now, I have signed in successful, and if I should check my console, you're going to notice something here. I have undefined. So why do I have undefined on my console? Now, if you could recall, we tried to log a request the body to the console, and right now it's giving us undefined. The first message we logged was that a request was made um, to this part and we have it here, but for the request the body it's undefined. So why is it undefined? Actually, like I said, post request allows us to send data in form of the body to a server, and now we're not sending any data, so that's why we're having undefined on our request of body. So what we need to do, if you're using Thunder client, you can declare your data by just switching to body. Just click body here and you can write pretty much any format you want to use. If you want to deal with a form, you can fill in a form here and send it. It's an encoded form. If it's just a normal form, you can do that. If you're working with GraphQL, you can also send that. You can send plain text or XML format. But now we're going to go with the JSON format because that's what we deal with mostly. We deal mostly with a JSON and a form data mostly in well I can't say in Express because you can use pretty much any one of them in Express, but mostly in this video we'll be using form data and JSON file format. So what I'm going to do now is create a JSON object, and first I'm going to have username, and here in username I'm going to have Jerry, and I'm also going to have another one for password, and here I'm going to have also another string of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, whatever, and we're also going to add another type, and code is probably login times. This is just an extra data, just something to populate it with. So I can say 60. All right. So this is an integer. So this is to show you that wherever you write here in the body should be in JSON format. It's very important that it's in JSON format. If you're sending or making a post request from your application, your client side application, then you have to stringify it to JSON format. If it's a JavaScript object, a regular JavaScript object, you have to convert it to a JSON string format. So that, as you can see here, we don't have any option for JavaScript objects, so we only have JSON, and JSON starts for JavaScript object notation. So it's actually a specific format that is used to pass across JavaScript objects. So you have to convert your JavaScript object to a JSON string format so that you'll be able to send it over to your server. So don't worry about this. When this gets to our Express server, it's going to come back in form of normal or regular JavaScript object. So let's make this request once more. And here we're still having undefined. Why is that? So I'm just going to send this once more. All right, yeah, cool. We are still having undefined now. There are some things that we ought to have done right now. Like I said, in the other part of this course, post request is kind of unique, and not just post request, other kind of request, because it actually allows us send data. Actually allow us to send data across to a server. So, but before our Express server can handle data, incoming data, we have to use some things called middlewares. Now, I'm not going to explain middleware fully in this video, but there's another video in this code dedicated for middlewares. So I'm going to use two Express middlewares. So now these middlewares are going to allow our Express server to be able to handle incoming JSON data um, on our server. So if you are making a request and you're sending other forms of data, you might also need to look for a middleware to pass each of them. So for the middleware I'm going to use now, it's just passing JSON data. So I'm going to do app.use. Again, if what I'm doing sounds strange, please do not worry. There's another video in this course dedicated to explain what I'm doing right now. So what I want to do is want to use express.json as a middleware, and one more thing we also want to do app.use to be on the server side. So we want to do express again dot URL encoded, and here we want to have a function with extended, set it to false. So this now enables these two lines of code, or these two middlewares that we're using right now or consuming right now in our Express on our Express server is going to help us to uh, handle JSON data that's coming from any request that we're making. So as you can see here, I have an error logged to the console, body parser deprecated. Now there's a package that does this actually in Express that you can install. It's called body parser, but it's actually deprecated, and I'm not using it right now, though I don't know why I'm getting this error. But the function that the body parser does, or the usefulness of body parser, is already been handled by Express itself, so we don't need to do that. So right now, if I make the request again, we should see our data logged to the console. So as you can see here now, we have the username, the password, and login times. So voila, we have our Express server is able to now receive payload of data from our requests. So we can spice things up a bit before in this video. I just want to show you that now whenever your request gets to the Express server, whenever your JSON data gets to your Express server, it's automatically converted to a JavaScript object. So if you do request the body, now in this case dot username for example, let's just make the request again. So now as you can see here, I have cherry. So it's handled everything for us automatically. It's handled the conversion to a regular JavaScript object for us. So we don't have to do that manually um, on our Express server. So now our Express is set up to listen for post requests. So that's how we create and post for post requests, and that's how we send data through post request through the body to our Express server. And this is how we also um, handle data in our Express server from a post request. So it's very important to have these two line of code. Like I said, they are middlewares that helps us to handle or to be able to pass JSON data that's coming with our post, put, patch, or delete request on our server. So you have to have this. If you don't have this, then you will continue to see undefined log to your console whenever you want to access the body from your post request. So in the coming videos, or in the next video, I'm going to show you how to deal with the put and the patch request. So I'm going to show you how to deal with the put and the patch request, how to also send data to the server through your put and your patch request. So I guess if you enjoyed this video, leave a like to this video and also subscribe to this channel if you've not done so. I'll catch you in the next video.